Hey, it's Jonathan from GaverSec. We're learning cybersecurity, and this is part 2 of learning Splunk SOAR. If you missed part 1, we started from scratch and installed Splunk SOAR on a Red Hat Linux virtual machine. Now that we have SOAR installed, we're going to talk about some use cases and build some playbooks to run some automations. Now here in the Splunk SOAR homepage, we're going to go to the upper left here and drop down, go to apps. Now this is where having your Splunk base or Splunk account that you made in the last video comes in handy, because we're going to need that here. So we're going to install a few apps. First, we're going to look for generator, or hit enter and let that load. Once that comes up, click install, put in your Splunk creds and let that download, just like that. Log in and install, didn't save. Now we have a few more apps to go through. Next, you're going to look up VirusTotal. You're going to do get v3, install. Next, you're going to look up IMAP, install. Next, you're going to look up SMTP, install. Next, you're going to look up DNS and install that. And one more that I forgot, Whois. Click install right there. Okay, now that that's done, click close. You can see all your unconfigured apps right here. Okay, the first one we're going to configure is the generator app. Click configure, going to type in an asset name, call it generator. Go to asset settings, events to generate, that's fine. Artifacts per event to generate 10, that's fine. Artifact label, we can leave that optional. We can leave all this blank, and we can scroll down and click save. Now it's going to ask us to select the label here on the ingest settings. Drop down and just select the events label. Click save. We're going to type or click pull now. I'm going to up this to 10 and pull. Once that finishes, click close. We're going to go back to the drop down menu in the upper left, go to sources, go to labels, click my events. And we see a bunch of what these are called containers. They're essentially cases or alerts. This is generated so that we can test and play around with and build automation around. Now, if we click into one, you can see here that there is a timeline and there's a lot of information regarding this alert. We're going to go from the summary view to the analyst view, because this drops down or adds a notes column, and we also see the artifacts tab right here, which we're going to click. We're going to click on this artifact and we can see what this dummy or demo alert is alerting on, and we can see a few fields here. We see a destination IP address, we see a destination port, and then we see a request URL. So this is going to simulate an alert that you get from your SIM or some sort of EDR or something that is triggering or a security alert. And this is going to ship to your SOAR instance so that you can run automation or playbooks off of to be able to respond immediately to it. So in this case, if this is a malicious URL, we'll be able to run automation and make that determination, reach out to specific teams, whatever you need to in the security environment. Now that we talked a little bit about containers, we're going to switch gears a little bit and go to virustotal.com. So go to this site and make an account, because we're going to need the API key to add to our SOAR instance to be able to run automation and check the reputation of an IP address or a domain. Once you make an account, you're going to go up to your account here and then click on API key, and you're going to right here, do not show it, and copy it to your clipboard. Now, once that's done, you're going to go back to your SOAR instance and you're going to get out of the container. You're going to go to your apps and you're going to go to your VirusTotal unconfigured app and configure it. You're going to add an asset name. We just call it VT. Go to asset settings and then paste in your VirusTotal and then save. Once that's done, click test connectivity, and if you copy and pasted right, your test connectivity should pass. Now we can use your VirusTotal API key to test your reputation of these containers, of these dummy events. After that, we're going to go click on that little square so we get back to the Splunk SOAR homepage. We're going to drop down and go to playbooks. Now once we're here, we're going to go all the way to the right, click plus on this playbook button. We're going to select automation. We're just going to call this test. You could call it whatever you want. And now we're going to take this action block and drop it down here, drag this arrow to it, click VirusTotal, then click IP reputation. Now we're going to, in this previous tab, go to our sources, our events, go find one of those containers. We go to the first one, go to the artifact. We see again these fields that we're going to reference in this playbook. And looking at the playbook, we're going to click on this, and we don't want to define a static IP address. We don't want to just drop this in and only run on this 188.126.116.26 IP address. We want to reference any IP address in any of these containers or any alert that we get in so that it's dynamic, so that when the playbook runs, it's grabbing whatever IP address is there. So what we're going to do is copy this field name, which is destination address. I'm gonna copy that. And right here in the playbook builder, in the visual playbook editor, we're going to click on this destination address right there. So now it's looking in an artifact and it's going through each artifact and looking for this CEF field, is what it's called destination address. So we actually didn't have to paste it in because it was already there. If it was a custom field name, we would have to paste it in instead of destination address. But in this case, it's a normalized one. So we're good to go. So we have that, and now we can drag an arrow to the end. And this is a very simple playbook, but it will show you exactly how powerful SOAR can be. Once you start adding all these actions and blocks together, you can really see how much automation can actually take over, which is really cool. So we're gonna click save, operates on, we can do star or events, it doesn't matter. We'll set this logging as on, and then save. It's gonna ask us to put in a comment. We will type in testing new playbook. Now we're gonna go back to our container over here to the right-hand side. We're gonna click this playbook button. We're gonna type in testing, and we'll see this playbook that we just created. We're gonna drop down here and click all artifacts, click on that, and we're gonna click run playbook. Now, if I go to the right, that playbook's gonna be running, and you'll see that it ran this IP reputation action. If we click on that, we can see the results that VirusTotal gave us. So now if we look, before we look at the results, we can close this out, look at the artifact, and just grab this IP address. And if we go to VirusTotal and just dump this in the UI, we can see what VirusTotal's reputation on it is. And now this is a manual check, right? This wasn't automated. That's us going to VirusTotal's webpage, pasting it in. But now this can be added automatically to a playbook and triggered immediately when an alert fires. So we look back in SOAR here, you can see that it has the same reputation. Malicious 7, suspicious 1, undetected 24. And if we scroll down through this, my scroll wheel stuck a little bit. So if you scroll down here and click on these drop-down arrows, you'll see all the data returned from VirusTotal, JSON formatted. All this can be accessible from the playbook. Depending on your use case, depending on what you need, this is everything that was returned from the API call. So you have all of this, you can reference it in your playbook, and all this is going to be different depending on what app you're using. So we built our first playbook using Splunk SOAR, and I hope it starts to give you an idea of how powerful automation can be, and how different it is from having to manually look up threat information to being able to do it immediately using automation when you have a security alert. This is what modern security operations centers are doing, and it is a game changer in preventing analyst burnout and speeding up processes. But we did install other apps, and that's where you come in. One of the things that I built in Splunk SOAR was a phishing checker for my friends and family. You can create an email address and have it ingest emails into your SOAR instance using the IMAP app. Then, when those emails get ingested, you can build a playbook using apps like VirusTotal or AbuseIPDB or the DNS or Whois checker to look through those artifacts, look through the domains, look through the IP addresses, and see if the email is malicious or not. It's a good project to have when you're trying to learn or build your skills in Splunk SOAR. So I'm going to challenge you to do that. You have all the tools now that you need to do it. Go have fun. Keep loving and learning CyberSec. Follow for more.